Welcome to Singapore, a stunningly futuristic city-state that will surprise you in many ways.
That's crazy!
From the multicultural perspective to the world's best airport to the breathtaking innovation.
It's so good. It's so good.
Singapore is a leader in showcasing how nature and technology can coexist harmoniously. And we're going to be taking you along with us on our first day.
This is just the beginning.
This is Singapore.
And welcome to Singapore, one of only 3 city-states in the world besides Monaco and the Vatican City. And I'm so excited to explore this country/city right on the southern tip of the Malaysian Peninsula.
And today we're just going to take you along on all of our first day adventures here in Singapore. This is one of the most fascinating places.
Singapore is known as the safest, cleanest, but also the most expensive cities in the world. And you can see all of these high-rise buildings behind me are mostly banks.
And if you don't know anything about Singapore, I'm sure you've recognized this building before. We are standing just across from the Marina Bay Sands, which is probably the most iconic hotel you've ever seen.
One of the biggest hotels in the world, and the biggest here in Singapore, with over 2,500 rooms. It has this boat shape on top, which you can see, and it has the largest sky pool in the world. Some very, very famous people have stayed at this hotel. If you're a celebrity like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, this is where you would stay.
We are at the iconic Merlion statue, which is the symbol of Singapore, and it's half fish, half lion. The half fish represents Singapore's humble beginnings when it was just a fishing village, and the lion head symbolizes how it is ever evolving, which is pretty cool. And everybody has come here to take the iconic selfie, which pretty much is like you drinking the fountain water. So, is this right? You can see just everybody looking like they're kind of possessed because they've got their mouth open, like they've seen a ghost. A little step forward. Yeah.
Is this right?
Yeah.
Is this right? Like this?
Yeah. Open your mouth. This one's called I'm Mega Thirsty. Go on. Do it
Why
again.
do people do this?
Do it again.
But this is what you have to do. Is this right?
Yeah.
Like this?
So I think Singapore is the way that it is because there are a lot of good rules in place. Like, for example, it is illegal to jaywalk, to chew gum, and if you want to bother fishing, you gotta pay a hefty fine. As we're walking through the giant cityscape of Singapore, I want to just point out how incredibly spotless it is. Also, it is super modern, but it's so green at the same time. Like, we are honestly in the garden city. Like, there are lush greeneries everywhere. There are so many trees among all of these tall buildings. I mean, look how crazy this is. As a full-time traveler, we very rarely share our travel hacks. But what if I mention a travel hack that's pretty much a lot of travel hacks in one? That's why we want to thank Surfshark for sponsoring this video, because they've been helping us travel hack for the last 2 years. We use our VPN for so much more than just online security. And if you don't know what a VPN is, it stands for Virtual Private Network. It encrypts all of our information sent between our device and the internet, so no one can steal our sensitive information. We are constantly connecting to Wi-Fi in public areas, like in the hotels, in the cafes, and in the airports. But it could be a gold mine for hackers. We have been using Surfshark to protect our identity, but we use it for so much more than just security. Have you ever wanted to get cheaper flights, cheaper hotels? It's so easy to change your virtual location and get access to serious game-changer flight deals. And when we're missing our favorite shows from back home, we just change our virtual location and get access to all of our favorite shows on Netflix that we miss when we're traveling abroad. If you haven't tried a VPN yet, it might actually solve more than one of your problems. Another huge plus about Surfshark is you can use one account for unlimited devices. Get an exclusive Surfshark deal by using our code SHEVENDEV, where you can get 4 months extra. Plus, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to try it out. So click the link in the description below. So we have now come to the airport, and of course we had to come and see the jewel because no trip to Singapore is complete without a visit to see the famous rain vortex. It's actually even better than what I imagined it to be. It spans over 7 floors. I'm sure you've known or you've seen this before, but Singapore Airport has been voted the best airport many times. And I can totally see why. It's pretty much like an urban jungle inside an airport. And this actually is the water source for all of the plants that you see around you. So all of that rainwater is collected and distributed so that you can see the lush greenery even inside a building. And the Changi Airport is pretty much a shopping haven. There are over 300 retail stores and restaurants. You can shop till you drop and you haven't even left the airport yet.
So you can see we're in a normal shopping mall, but then if we turn, we've now entered an urban jungle. And let me kind of explain very briefly what's happening here. Obviously the giant waterfall that's funneling through the center of this vortex, as Chef said, is watering this entire forest, but it's also cooling the area. So they've used modern technology in an urban setting, which is kind of true Singapore, and you'll see throughout today, Singapore is very green, and that's so evident to see here at the Jewel.
Even though we're in the middle of the mall right now, we need to find a little secret spot, which I think you can see all along the sides there. So let's go and find a spot. There's nobody here! Look at this! We found a little hidden spot. Look at the Jewel. Can you believe it?
It might be very loud for you, but that just shows how much water is falling from the Jewel.
We found a little spot.
A hidden gem in a tropical oasis.
When you normally go to an airport, you kind of want to leave it as soon as possible, but not in Singapore because the airport is a tourist attraction in itself. Plus, it's not only about a waterfall. There's actually about 1,000 trees to 100,000 shrubs all over the airport. So there's so much to see and do. There's a 24-hour cinema. You can get as much food as you want. Shop till you drop. It's honestly like a theme park.
So you can see just how big this area is and how green and luscious it is. It's unbelievable. It's walking into a forest. You can actually feel a bit of the spray coming off of it. We're on the 5th level now. You can actually go up there and pay to go on that walk bridge that's made of glass. But you can also go all the way down to the bottom and you can see how much energy is being produced from that vortex. All the water being pushed down. Also just the scale and aesthetic of the glass panels all leading to the centerpiece and the waterfall is just majestic. Look at this.
We've seen pictures of this rain vortex a lot, but to actually see it in person is so much better. And I'm so happy that we're in Singapore.
This is the moment where you go, I've made it to Singapore.
Yeah.
When you see the Jewel.
We're here.
We've now come to the east side of Singapore, which is a different district, and as you can see around me, a very different vibe compared to where we were earlier today. This is more of like an urban community area, a lot of older style houses and businesses.
But I actually love how they're all unique. They're colored differently, they're decorated differently.
And apparently these are called shop houses. It's the old style of houses and businesses that they used to have in Singapore, with the house on top, business at the bottom.
This one's actually a dog hotel, and this one also looks like a doggy daycare, but it's like a very distinct purple. Plus, on this side, we've got a Tom and Jerry painting, and I see there's a lot of artworks on these streets, kind of like hidden gems.
But still, just like everything in Singapore, very, very clean. And they've got a lot of these like boutique shops. So all the way down here is just little boutique shops, which I really like. It's a different vibe to the big high-rise buildings and skyscrapers that we had earlier. Also, I'm walking past the supermarket, and you can actually see the condensation on the outside. That shows how hot it is on the outside compared to the inside. It is boiling here in Singapore, and we read that the lowest ever recorded temperature in 1934 was only 19 degrees. So here's one of the buses. Singapore's bus system is very extensive, but look how beautiful and quaint these little streets are. Really old style architecture, and I see at the top it says 1928.
I like that they've preserved that in some areas of Singapore. So I feel like I'm seeing the real Singapore right now. And plus, I've seen a lot of no jaywalking signs. So they're super serious about that. Do not jaywalk, or else you'll probably get like $100 fine or $150 fine. But besides that, I love how all of these buildings, especially the ones behind me, are so beautifully decorated.
There's always a mix everywhere we've been so far in Singapore of the old and new. Look at this little pop-up coffee store. Just a hole in the wall, pretty much. Hello, can I have one hot latte? Or can I have ice? Ice latte, please. Yes, it's very hot. I could not have something hot right now.
This is actually super cool because we're on pretty much an alleyway. This is like a hole in the wall, and then here's the street.
This is the prices of what a coffee or a tea would cost here in Singapore.
$6, $5 to $6. Oh, you're ready. Thank you. Wow. This looks good. Thanks. Bye. Perfect iced latte for a very, very hot day.
But now that we've seen that residential area, we're going back into the city center of Singapore. But we're going to take the train, and this is the beautiful train station. So again, we're completely in the greenery, and then we have a train station. Hello. Can I have 2 tickets to Raffles Place?
We don't sell tickets, you must have a card.
Where do we buy the card?
That's the ticketing service dealer.
Okay, thank you. You can't buy a single journey ticket. You have to buy a card or a pass, and then you load onto the card. Perfect, thank you. So we have got our cards, which are very cool because they are Star Wars branded cards. Really cool. So you have to pay $10. The actual card cost is $5, and then $5's already loaded on. That's why you have to pay $10. So it's quite a lot. Your dollars go very quickly here in Singapore. But we're now going to take the train. We're taking the Green Line. This train is above ground, but apparently throughout the city it changes. It goes above ground, then below ground. It's really strange to be in a metro station, but it's so boiling hot. Let's use our Star Wars card. May the Force be with you, my girl. Also, another thing is how quiet the station is. And there's hardly any people here. When we were on the train in Tokyo, the platforms were so crowded and packed. Here, I feel like I need to whisper because it's dead quiet.
Doors are closing. Change at the next station.
We have made it out the train station, and this is what the station looks like. We are now back in the high-rise buildings. There's a lot more to do here than I first realized.
A lot of people told us, like, why would you go there? There's not much to do. There is so much to do. That is so wrong. There's so much to do and so many beautiful things to see and experience. Plus, we are working up a huge appetite. So we're gonna head to a hawker center now and test out Singaporean cuisine.
We're now at our next spot, which is Chinatown.
Yeah, I wanted to come to Chinatown because there's so many quirky little restaurants. There's lots of souvenir shops. So if you've come here for a little shopping, I think this is the perfect place to do it. There's tons of stuff behind me. And then on this side, they've got cute little cafes. But I think this is mostly for a quick browse. And then apparently there's lots of hawker stalls nearby. So we're gonna have to try some hawker street food.
So I think Chinatown is the only area in the whole of Singapore that I've found that has relatively reasonable prices.
Yes, like some things are $1, $3.
Compared to the rest of Singapore where nothing I've seen has been under $10. But it's just this long strip and we're just going to continue all the way down. You can see here you can buy some bangles, some panda stuff, lots of Singapore key rings, shirts, some merch, Singapore merch. And look at the prices, okay, these are $16, $10, but look at this, only $2. This entire store is only $1.
Whenever we go to a new country, we always decide to get Devon's gran a little magnet because she has a fridge full of magnets from all over the world. So I hope she's going to add Singapore to her fridge. Hey little guy.
Oh, hey little guy.
Hi little guy. You look cool.
He likes you.
He likes. Do you think so? Arrow. He said ni hao.
He just said ni hao.
Ni hao. Arrow. We've just stumbled upon this incredible artwork that is on a random alleyway here in Chinatown. I mean, as you can see, there's absolutely nothing here. This mural is absolutely stunning. It looks like way back in the day where you read newspaper, you drank tea and ate some chicken feet with your friends. It's super, super lifelike. How beautiful is this? Okay, so it is actually raining a little bit outside, but that's no matter because we have finally found a hawker stall for lunch. So I think they have all sorts of food here, cheap, authentic Singaporean food, and I'm sure lots and lots of variety. So let's go take a look.
Okay, if you want variety, this is definitely the place. Look at how many drinks they have here. Lemon drink, barley drink, bird nest, sour plum, so many options all the way along. It's just food galore here.
Duck rice, fishball, kway teow, laksa, everything looks so good. We are spoiled for choice.
Can I have two? Yellow. This one? Thank you. Okay, so we've decided to go with this one because it seems to be the most popular, and what it is a curry with noodles. So he asked me which type of noodles would I like, thick, yellow or thin noodles. Bee hoon is the type of noodles, so it's an aheng curry, so curry noodles, which is incredible. So she's got this giant bowl in the middle. You can actually see that there's bread inside and it looks like a coconut curry flavor. It looks really rich. And I think this place is really popular because we've got a Michelin Guide sticker over here. So I paid $7 and you can see her putting it all into my bowl right now. And then what I'm going to do is take one of these. This is like a little chili paste in some vinegar. We're gonna have to have two of these. This is how it works. You just stand here with your tray and then the food literally comes through this little cutout window.
This soup looks super hearty, creamy, almost as if it's mixed with a bit of coconut milk, so I'm gonna have to test that. Plus we've got some egg noodles and I think we've got chunks of chicken, we've got potato, and is this tofu or is this bread? Because it kind of looks like a slice of bread. Plus we've got a little bit of chili on the side, so I'm gonna have to put that straight in just to give it a little bit of extra flavor and then just mix it all in there. Explosive flavor, hearty, delicious soup. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. One of those soups that hits you straight in the back of the throat. It kind of tastes like a coconut curry. So let me go straight in for the noodles. Thick, firm noodles, full of flavor. Now for the chicken. This chicken is super soft and yet super firm. It is absolutely delicious. I think we picked a winner for lunch today. Okay, I finally get to show you where we are staying here in Singapore because as you may know, Singapore has some of the most beautiful and unique hotels in the entire world. We are staying at Pan Pacific Orchard. So in our room, we've got a lot of space. I mean, it's very open air. We've got our bathroom over here. We've got our very modern mirror, sink, countertop, we've got our overhead shower, and then of course the toilet is in here. Then on this side we've got our closet space, which includes our robes, and then over here is our little mini bar, which is literally a square mounted to the wall. And I'm afraid to tell you what the price of water is. It's about 14 Singaporean dollars. Lucky for us, we have our own little water dispensary with cute little bottles. The tap also has hot and cold water. Plus we have an espresso machine. And now moving on to our extra super cozy, fluffy looking bed, which looks as soft as a cloud. So we're gonna have to test it out. Ooh, my predictions were right. This is as soft as a cloud. And opposite the bed, we've got a little lounging area with our massive TV. They've even given us some welcome snacks, some welcome fruit, and a chocolate plate. In the center looks like the golden orb from Harry Potter. Now, over here, this may look like just an outdoor cozy deck area, but once I open those blinds, you will be mind blown. Plus, everything, including the blinds and the lights, are operated with these switches. Are you ready for the big finale? Ooh, let's open this up. These doors are heavy. Are you ready for this? I'm not ready. Yee. Follow me to the best view you've ever seen. This is not a museum, it's not Gardens by the Bay, it's a hotel. We're pretty much in an oasis in the middle of the city, like a modern jungle. How is that even possible? You've got a massive super tree on this side, which pretty much replicates one of those you would see in Gardens by the Bay here in Singapore, which we'll show you a little bit later today. But at the bottom, you've got a very tranquil blue pool. You've got lounges, which are dedicated to some of the rooms on the bottom floor, which is actually the 5th floor. So we're on the 7th floor. And you've got the perfect contrast of green palm trees running all the way along 2 separate pools. And these rooms, which kind of looks like ours, are pretty much protruding out of the building. It looks like they're kind of glued to the edge of the building, which actually looks so insane, like 3D. Can you believe that this is what this hotel looks like?
So the next thing we're about to show you in the pouring rain is something I'm sure you haven't thought about doing here in Singapore. We're now at the marina. We're about to go on a boat ride. We're going on a rib ride. If you don't know what that is, it's an inflatable boat. We're going into the ocean and we're going to cruise around, but unfortunately today it's pouring with rain, but we're still going.
We are surrounded by these beautiful yachts here at the marina, and I guess we're going to get wet anyway, so a little rain is not going to hurt. Apparently it's super fast, and I've never been on a rib ride before, but I think it's going to be super fun. Weather, not so fun. Look at the private jet, it's just chilling.
It's just floating here in the ocean. This is a jet that obviously lands here on the ocean, and look at all the yachts that we have around us. This is Singapore. This is a side that a lot of people don't see. So normally a rib ride is a really high speed, high adrenaline activity to do, and to now do that in the rain is going to be very interesting. Okay, now that we're at the end of the dock,
We're gonna get life jackets. Apparently it's super speedy, so
oh, thank you.
I always get the baby life jacket because normal size ones don't really fit me, so
I'm just going to be this side so you can see the yachts in the background.
what we should be going on.
Yeah, well, that's what we should be going on next time. We'll book that for next time. Okay, let's get ready. Are we even ready for this, girl? Because I think this is
What did
going
we
to
get ourselves into?
This is quite an adrenaline activity, by the way. In the rain, do you think the rain's going to hurt?
Probably.
Okay, let's show you our mode of transport for this. So this is what we're going to be flying on. These are the tiny little chairs, but look over there, that is a face mask, because I think the splashing that's going to happen is going to be insane. And look at the tiny little seat that we have to sit on. It doesn't look very comfortable. So apparently we're going for the safe middle option.
I think safe
Okay, I'm
middle
going to
is
come and
good.
sit next to you. This sounds cool.
You gotta sit on the side. I'll sit in the middle.
Okay, I'm sitting on the side.
You gotta take the heat.
So apparently in the front it's the most intense, so we're going to be switching as we go. So these people are sitting in the front at the moment, we're next. We're going to be filming all of this on the GoPro just because it's raining and we don't want filming gear to get wet.
I think middle is safe zone.
Is this the safe zone? I don't know.
What do you think?
I have no idea. I have no idea what's safe.
Who knows?
We are not prepared for this. Look at this. That makes me nervous.
All time face the front, don't look at the left or right, because we are running over the wave and you turn and you smash on the wave, it's going to be back injured. So you want to avoid that. In all time face forward.
We are leaving the marina now and we are literally heading out deep into the ocean. Because there's a storm, I assume the swell is going to be a lot bigger, so the waves are going to be bigger. She just said keep your head forward, because if you look to the side and you hit down from a wave, you can hurt your back. So I'm not sure what we're in for right now.
I'm a bit nervous.
Good luck.
Good luck. I think we can do it.
You hold it very tight.
This is just the beginning.
We're going through all of these cargo ships. There's the boat over there. Okay, we're now in the front of the boat.
I don't know if I like the front.
Get ready.
I don't know if I like the front.
Play Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
Oh, these are biggies. These are biggies. Are you okay?
It's actually very cool.
Very cool. So because we're in the shipping port and this is the second busiest shipping port in the world, we get to see some of these containers while we're flying.
Down. How to come for the wider area? This is very narrow. Lots of vitamin C, right?
Right. Woo! We survived. When we were sitting in the front, it was actually quite hectic. At one point, I actually levitated. Like I was
flew right off.
I was a fairy, honestly. I wonder what we look like as before and after.
We are completely drenched. You can see where the life jacket was, how this is dry and everything else is completely wet. This rib ride, if you ever come to Singapore and you want to do this, something different and unique, hopefully it's not raining when you do it. We'll link that all below. Okay, on to the next thing.
I hope it's a lot less wet. So we woken up bright and early today, and this is where we are on Sentosa Island in Singapore. We are about to do
You're
some...
at 2 Larkill Road, Singapore.
No, Siri. We are about to do some morning yoga, and this is the location. We have had an absolutely fantastic morning here exploring Sentosa Island, and you probably wouldn't think that you would start your day with morning yoga in Singapore. But after that, we had a really relaxing morning, and we also went to a nearby beach club. But for now, let's head to the cable car. Okay, so we're about to hop on the cable car, which will take us from one point just over a few buildings across the sea to another point. So this looks pretty cool. They're super colorful. Ooh, the purple one's ours. Here we go. We're in. Do you remember the last time we were on a cable car?
In Nepal.
And it went at full speed?
This thing's got speed! This thing's got speed!
Horse clothing. Okay, we're officially going? I forgot how nerve-wracking cable cars are. Okay, this one's also got speed.
It looks a lot slower on camera, but we're officially off the ground.
Okay, we're about to ascend, and it's drizzling slightly, so does that make that a little bit more nerve-wracking?
This gives you an idea of how high we are already. Above all of these buildings, there's part of the harbor in the background, and look at you above the tree line.
Wow, I feel so much more at peace on this one.
Oh.
You good?
I was okay looking this way, but I can't look that way. This cable car that we're on now has 3 different stops. So this is the second one. We're going to go through this one onto the third.
We're going in for a bumpy one.
I don't think we get off.
No, we don't. I don't think so.
I would like to stay. Better not to look.
Yeah, usually I'm not that terrified of cable cars, but look at the view in the other cable cars going by. Wow, hey guy. Oh no, that one's empty. So as we're sitting on this cable car, we're about to descend now and head off on the middle stop, and then we're about to take the Sky Orb, which is pretty much like this cable car, but it's got a glass flooring. So that's going to be quite interesting. If you're afraid of heights, maybe I wouldn't recommend this, but if you're an adventure lover like us, then I highly recommend it. Wow, that was not as bad as I expected, but we had the most beautiful view of the beaches, the little harbor. We could see all the cargo ships going by. As someone who's not really afraid of heights, cable cars can be kind of nerve-wracking when they shake and rattle, but this one was very stable.
So this is the orb that we're about to take, and you can see the bottom of it is completely glass.
Whoa,
Whoa, here we go.
this is crazy.
This is glass. There's going to be nothing below us.
Oh my gosh.
I'm terrified.
Absolutely terrifying. Okay, here we go. The doors are closing. The glass flooring is actually quite cool, but the entire capsule looks like a bit of a spaceman suit.
Yes.
Ooh, it's quite a takeoff. Oh, it's got speed.
This is the same as the previous one, all glass behind you, but then
Look at the floor. That's road. That is road.
that is crazy.
Take your shoes off. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. We're actually going over a water park and there's a couple pools.
This is the ocean below us. This is Sentosa Island. This is the mainland of Singapore. So we're going over the channel, and as you can see below us, there are the crystal blue waters.
Whoa, so blue.
Here comes one of the capsules. This gives you an idea of what we're in.
We're in one of those. There's actually so many cargo ships that I can see, and yet the water is so blue. That's actually miraculous.
So this is the marina that we took the rib ride in yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
We're above the building.
We went through a building.
I wanted to show you this, which kind of gives you an idea of the glass. Like if you leave your phone, it just seems so wrong to just put your phone, like it should be falling.
Okay, that's giving me anxiety. Stop.
My hands are sweating. That was a bad idea.
So as you may have noticed, the sun has now set and we have arrived at Gardens by the Bay, which pretty much means we are surrounded by these luscious and vibrant super trees.
But all the trees that are around us are up to 50 meters high, and they're not real trees, they're man-made trees.
But they are more than just pretty. We've actually come here for the light show that happens twice every single night. But before that happens, I want to give you a little bit of info of what these super trees are. They've actually built a little ecosystem around each one.
Because they have this natural irrigation system where they funnel rainwater.
So all of these are solar powered and they actually channel all of that electricity and energy to power its own light show. So that's very cool. I'm so excited that we finally get to see this. So we're just going to take a small walk around the park before the light show, but all I can say is, wow. A few of the super trees are actually suspended by a bridge, which you can actually walk on. It honestly feels like we're in an Avatar movie because these futuristic trees just don't seem real. It feels like I'm walking around in a movie. The show's about to start.
So what we've done is sit on the floor, and you can see all the people around us are doing the same. So you got to kind of find your spot before the show starts.
But we're literally sitting under the trees and it's like a canopy of lights. It's unbelievable. I can't wait.
Boys and girls, watch the super trees come to life as we unveil a dazzling showcase of lights and musical trees.
Okay, by far the coolest 15 minutes ever. It was super immersive and the sound effects were actually amazing. Lighting was amazing. There were thunderstorms, there was incredible sounds of rain. The whole entire experience was absolutely amazing.
The funniest part is not only the trees are lit up, but we are. When we use these mics under this lighting, I'm also a super tree right now. So that ends our first day here in Singapore, and we'll see you in the next video.